Hello, everybody. My name is Catherine White. I'm the Executive Director of IFAMA, and I would like to welcome you all to the IFAMA 2024 Virtual Symposium. Here we begin our final presentations of the day. We're in China, and I'm very pleased to welcome Qing Xie to the room. She is a graduate student at Huazhong Agricultural University, majoring in applied economics, and her research within the framework of behavioral economics focuses on analyzing factors influencing consumer choices under food risks. She is committed to advancing the understanding of consumer behavior and looks forward to sharing her insights at the upcoming academic conference. So, without further ado, I would like to play your presentation.
Okay. I will start it.
Okay, go
Hello,
ahead.
everyone. My name is Qing Xie. Thank you for having me here today. Today, I am here to present my research. The title of my paper is Empirical Study on Choice Overload and Experienced Utility Frame. Today, my presentation will cover 5 key aspects of my research, starting with an introduction to set the context. I will discuss the measurements and methodologies. Next, I will elaborate on the experimental design and its implementation. The data and analysis section will highlight our key findings. And finally, the conclusion. Okay, let's get started. In today's consumer landscape, choices abound. Where variety is often celebrated, excessive choices can lead to a phenomenon known as choice overload, causing intersecting conflict, affecting behavior and even mental health. According to Karman's framework, we distinguish between the experienced utility and the decision utility, with the former reflecting our individuals' hedonic sensations under the frame of experienced utility. Subjective state consequences are significant reflections of choice overload. However, when measuring the subjective state consequences, the most commonly used metrics are satisfaction. Other emotions such as confusion, disappointment, anxiety, and stress are usually not considered, so it is insufficient to reflect the complete spectrum of an individual's emotional experience. Previous studies show that the complexity of choice tasks and the characteristics of decision makers are two primary factors that influence the choice overload. The size of choice size was commonly believed to impact the complexity of choice tasks, while the impact of attribute quantity is widely ignored. Furthermore, individual decision styles also plays a significant role. Maximizers invest a lot of time and effort in analyzing each option, which would make them more likely to experience choice overload and negative emotions, while satisficers tend to play less cognitive efforts and locate the satisfaction. In this paper, we developed a systematic scale to measure the subjective state consequences of choice overload and to examine the following two hypotheses. Hypothesis 1, increasing the choice set complexity would result in a more severe choice overload. Hypothesis 2, individual heterogeneity in the desire to maximize influences their experienced choice overload. Alright, let's turn to the measurements. To systematically measure choice overload, we break down the choice process into 4 distinct stages. During the evaluation stage, individuals often feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of options, leading to perceived overload. Moving to the decision stage, this overload can translate into evaluation costs, causing inaction or delays in making a decision. In the post-decision pre-consumption stage, individuals may grapple with anticipated regret, worrying about whether they made the right choice. To assess the overall impact of choice overload, we measure 2 critical aspects: choice confidence, reflecting individuals' trust in their decision-making abilities, and choice satisfaction, capturing their overall satisfaction with the outcome. Based on the extensive research, we have designed a comprehensive scale comprising 6 variables and a total of 27 question items. To measure individuals' desire to maximize, we adopted and modified the scale developed by the previous study. The scale contains 9 items. Now let's come to the next point, which is the experimental design. We use the liquid milk as the research product. This is because liquid milk is being consumed every day, and there is a wide variety of brands, packaging, and flavor combinations available in the market. So consumers may suffer from ongoing choice overload. Participants were presented with 2 virtual liquid milk and were asked to choose their most favorable option. The choice task example is shown in the picture. All liquid milk is constructed on attributes such as price, shelf life, organic, and protein content. Consumers care about these characteristics when buying liquid milk. As you can see from the figure, there are 2 treatments. Participants were randomly assigned to one of them. In both treatments, participants were asked to make 2 consecutive choices. After each choice, participants were required to complete the choice overload measurement scale. In treatment 1, we start by adding a new attribute to one of the liquid milk products. Treatment 2 introduced a higher level of complexity by presenting participants with multiple similar options. Before making the second choice, participants were required to assess how similar the added option was to the original option. In this chapter, I will introduce the data and analysis. The experiment was conducted between September and November 2021 in China. We recruited 248 students from Huazhong Agricultural University. According to the principal component analysis, 73.4% participants are maximizers and 26.6% of them are satisfiers. Principal component analysis extracted 6 factors to explain choice overload measurements. We define them as choice difficulty, degree of confusion, degree of pressure, anticipated regret, choice confidence, and decision satisfaction. Combine data from treatment 1 and treatment 2. The results of the paired sample t-test are shown in the table. Results in column 2 show that participants felt more pressed, more confused, and found it challenging to make a choice when increasing the complexity of the choice set. This finding is consistent with hypothesis 1. Then, comparing the data in the last two columns, we can say that compared to satisfiers, maximizers were more priced and reported more difficult to make a choice. In general, we concluded that maximizers experienced more choice overload when increasing the complexity of choice tasks, which confirms hypothesis 2. Now let's focus on the result of treatment 1 and treatment 2. The result of treatment 1 show that, regardless of consumer type, adding organic attributes to the liquid milk product made participants feel more pressed and confused, which verifies hypothesis 1. At the same time, maximizers were significantly more confused and pressed than satisfiers, while satisfiers were less confident about their decision. This is also consistent with hypothesis 2. Therefore, it can be concluded that individuals feel greater choice overload when there is a small increase in the complexity of the choice task, where maximizers experience greater choice overload compared to satisfiers. The results of treatment 2 show that participants reported more pressure, more confusion, and harder to decision when a similar choice was added to the choice set. However, in contrast to treatment 1, there does not appear to be a significant difference in the choice overload experienced by maximizers and satisfiers when the complexity of the choice task is increased more substantially. In the end, I will discuss the conclusions of this paper. First of all, increasing the number of attributes and adding similar options may result in more negative emotions and higher choice overload. In addition, choice overload experienced by individuals is heterogeneous. Maximizers were significantly more likely to be driven to negative emotions when increasing the complexity of the choice task by a small degree. When increasing the complexity of the choice task more dramatically, there was no significant difference in the choice overload experienced by the two types of consumers. According to our research, we have the following suggestions. Firstly, consumers' choice overload may be affected by the number of attributes. Thus, the salient features of a product should be highlighted. Secondly, whenever the products are on display, similar products from the same line should avoid being displayed next to each other. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you again.